Well, Oval fans, I'm, I don't know. I am going to be very interested to see how many people agree with my score and my thoughts on the episode compared to last week. Because last week I said the episode was a dud. Yeah, it was clearly set up for the finale where everybody gets the call to come to the White House, and then the big shootout happens in the finale. And I said last week, if I remember correctly, didn't I give it like a 4 out of 10? I thought it was meh, but people in the comments like, oh, you're biased towards the Oval because you always praise Sisters and the Oval is better than Sisters. And I'm thinking, if you've been a long time viewer, I've had plenty of moments where I said the Oval was better than the current running season of Sisters at that given time. But when it comes to season 5, if you watched all of my reviews, I thought season 5 definitely had a lot of potential because it started off strong and a lot better than season 4. But around the 100th episode, I don't know what the heck happened, but the momentum that was being built up just kind of fell off a cliff and the show just never recovered. The mid-season finale was whack. We got a couple of decent episodes during the back half of season 5, but for the most part, they felt really dragged out, fillerish, and so on. And I thought that, okay, because I thought episode 21 was so disappointing last week, that episode 22, Wild Wild West, would make up for that. It's like, okay, yeah, last week kind of sucked, but hey, all that set up, everybody getting the call to the White House and, everybody coming aboard to figure out what's happening, that's going to lead to one of the best finales yet. Folks, I can confidently say this is probably my least favorite Oval finale in the entire series. I award The Oval Season 5, Episode 22, Wild Wild West, a 3 out of 10. And look, if you say, oh, I'm hating on the show, again, you haven't watched my content all the way through. You probably only watched maybe this video and a couple others, and it's like, oh, he's hating on the Oval and he giving it low scores. No. I actually felt like I believed in the show at one time, but just like with Sisters, Tyler needs to hire new writers because the Oval just ain't hidden. It really ain't. This episode happened exactly how I predicted. And no, just because I predict like a majority of an episode based off of context clues, episode trailers, and things like that, that does not automatically mean an episode is a flop in my eyes. It's all about the execution. And this episode, I tweeted out about 3 minutes or 15 minutes into the episode. It was during like the first chunk, and I said, I bet about 97% of this episode will be everybody arriving at the White House wondering what the hell is going on. And then the last few minutes or the last 2 or 3% of the episode is when everybody goes up to the residency to confront Hunter, and then we get the big shootout. And folks, that's exactly what happened. I mean, it started off strong, with Richard creeping around the bedroom trying to get, his uniform for work, but then Nancy overheard him, and the scene I thought was very well done. I mean, at first I saw both sides of their conflict, with Nancy needing her husband because they had lost their son. Richard knowing that Nancy needs him, but at the same time, he's reluctant to do so because, as he pointed out, look, everything is just happening one thing after another. The revelation about, the thing with her his father not being a one-time thing, but a damn near full-blown relationship. Oh, he's better in bed than you. The whole picky thing. And look, keep in mind, even though this is season 5 wrapping up, well, then again, I don't really know. The passage of time could be like Sisters where it's really wonky, but in context, you got the revelation of Picky not being Richard's nephew, but like his uncle, brother, whatever the hell. I don't know. I forgot the relation. Basically, Picky was Nancy's son by Richard's father. They just lost Barry. Richard confronted his father about the whole thing with Nancy. Everything is just like, if it ain't one thing, it's another. It's just one thing after, and of course, what kicked off the series, their granddaughter being kidnapped and whatnot. It's just so much going on, and Richard, is basically calling out Nancy, saying, "Look, you want me to hold you, but guess what, Nancy? If I hold you, that's just really going to benefit you. All the while, I'm going to feel, messed up inside because I just know how you screwed me over. Well, I've been here with you through everything," and it's like, well, Nancy, you admitted, I think when she was high or something, or maybe when she first admitted to the whole thing with her, the affair with his father, the fact that it was the guilt from, the whole thing with Picky and having the affair, that she devoted herself to being the best wife possible, from cooking and cleaning, and whenever they would have sex, doing whatever Richard wanted to do, even though she admitted his dad way better than him at sex. So basically, you destroy this manhood of Richard. And it's like, well, Nancy, Richard has a point, because like, you want to be helped, but that's only going to help you. Just like you didn't stay married to me and whatnot and be the best wife and everything out of the goodness of your heart. You only did that to ease your own guilt, because you lied to this man for dang near your entire, however old Picky was. He must have been like in his early 20s or something. Think of like over 2 decades of lies about Picky being your nephew when that's really your son. Not to mention if I remember correctly, Nancy has always been a stay-at-home wife, so all the money Richard has been working hard to earn and bring home to the family. Remember when he got shot, when Barry and Kareem were fighting over a gun in season 1? Turns out they don't have any savings, because all the money that they had as a form of savings, I think on like a monthly period, Nancy would give that money to her sister, who was like a crackhead or whatever, because the lie was, oh, you take care of Picky and say he's your son, not mine, and I'll give you this money every month as hush money. So basically, this man who worked for years to earn an honest living for your family, you took that money to cover up your lie. Nancy, look, I feel for you. I really do, because y'all just lost your son. And I mean, for you just lost your second child. But Richard is right. It's like, there's no reason for me to even be here. I want a divorce. Barry's pretty much like probably the last thing that was kind of holding them together. But at this point, it's a wrap. And yeah, like I said, I felt for Nancy, but at the end of the day, I could see Richard's side. I saw both sides of it, but the more Nancy talked, the more I'm like, nah, this is really about you. This is really about you. So from there, we got the beginning of the repetitiveness. We got characters just showing up to the White House. Priscilla and Alonzo talk for a bit about the situation in regards to Victoria's situation, from being in the bunker to the infirmary, and now that she's out. Oh yeah, and then Simone calls Priscilla about the whole, all hands on deck, what's going on. And then the conversation shifts gears to the fact that there are new agents for Hunter. Basically, Eli, they're like swapping out Secret Service agents on the low, so things are about to get pretty crazy around here, and they can smell the deception in the air. Alan comes in, he has a little brief conversation with Alonzo about, so you know what's going on? I mean, I kind of do, but I kind of don't. I mean, it's kind of the just same thing over and over again. Kyle's in Donald's office calling Dale, basically saying you better not leave my apartment, because not just the threat of the pimp, but the fact that you were hiding under the bed while me and Donald were, going at it. Not to mention, you probably overheard what we were talking about in the living room. So you heard a lot of top secret information that makes it where you can't be like a free agent just gallivanting around DC or whatnot, because who's to say you won't tell somebody about what went down. And Donald, comes in the midst of the conversation or threat of, don't take that attitude with me. And then Donald has that air of, I know you're hiding something from me, Kyle. But basically, Donald wants to go see Eli, and he tells Kyle to stay in his office. I mean, the way he talked is like, what is Donald going to have a hit put on Kyle or something? Because no, you just stay right here. So I was like in your office specifically to get shot? I don't know. But from there, Victoria, steps up to Max and Bobby, and, she doesn't have to, I mean, the slight kindness she gave them in the last episode for saving her, that's gone now. She's just sassy and with an attitude, like, move out of my way to see Eli. And she tells him about the fact that she was in the bunker, she hurt her head, she was in the infirmary. But look, my dad is pissed and we need to end this right now. We need to destroy Hunter. Eli, strangely enough, is trying to be all calm and I guess you could say by the books about it in regards to the 25th Amendment. I mean, that Eli was a complicated character in this episode because the way Eli was acting, this was the Eli when he was first introduced. Like, oh, I got a plan. Me and my team have enough information to bury you. Hunter and your administration, we're going to, put the 25th Amendment into action to get you taken out by the books. But then as we learn later in the show, as he, is working on Victoria's side and whatnot, it just felt like that all-American clean-cut guy was just a facade. So I don't really understand why he's all, oh yeah, well, we can't just destroy everything. We got to do this by the books, so we'll take him out the right way. And then Donald comes into the Oval. Well, he wants to talk with Eli, but Max and Bobby tell him not now. He's in a meeting. And Donald was strangely nice to Bobby, but Bobby saw right through that. So he just bounces. So then we have Richard and Priscilla having a conversation in the kitchen about I think my favorite part about this is that, Priscilla once again is like, Richard, you should be at home. No, I just can't. I can't be at home right now. Okay. I just really can't. But basically, he calls BS on all these new Secret Service agents. Like, look, I've been working here for a long time and I've never seen Secret Service agents like that before. And he knows that something's up. Sam comes in and basically reveals that, look, Jason was in our basement. My basement? Yes, he was at the house. My house? Like, Priscilla, this is just not the time for your nonsense. So basically, Sam is saying, look, I've been hearing the president wants to see me, but I need to make sure, Jason's whereabouts and if this is about him, because I can't just go up there all willy-nilly. And it's like, look, I need y'all to keep me posted if you hear anything. Richard's like, okay. Priscilla just isn't saying anything. Like, Priscilla, just not now. Just not now. This is not the time. So from there, we go ahead and have Bobby and Max get intel on Simone moving. Now, Max wants to tell Eli right away, but Bobby's like, look, no. He's in there with the first lady. They're probably banging. So what we need to do is just let things fall apart. So Victoria actually comes out, and we know this is in regards to the whole plan. Simply put, Eli wants to make it where, hey, call your father. Let him know I have a plan. I want to try to talk Hunter down, because if we go in there guns blazing, it's just going to lead to a lot of just a huge mess. So let me try it my way. And if it doesn't work, then we'll try it his way. And then I think that Victoria said she was able to buy him an hour. So what I'll do, I'll go upstairs first. And if you don't hear anything from me in 10 minutes, then come up. And that's pretty much the plan. But sheesh, it's not really going to work all that well. It really isn't going to work all that well, because later on we actually see Simone pop up. And, oh man, she's there because she wants to be by his side. And Eli's like, no. I don't. You need to go home. It's about to get crazy up in here. So then the first lady barges in, but actually her plan again was to go up there first. But on her way in there, or on her way upstairs, she runs into Agent Isaac and a couple of his agents bringing Jason in. And, Victoria's taunting him like, oh, it's like I'm seeing a ghost. Oh, and it's like, look, don't touch me. And then I believe Victoria's like, hey, take him to the blue room. No, we're not listening to you, ma'am. You're not the first lady anymore. This is my son. And Jason's like, look, I want to see my dad. Okay, we'll take you to him upstairs now. But then in the midst of the back and forth of Victoria trying to exert the authority and power she no longer has, Jason breaks away. Victoria grabs him by the arm. He turns around and just kicks the hell out of her and sends her flying. But then Agent Isaac catches up to him. So then, Victoria's still barking, but it's like, look, do I need to tase you again? Yeah, taser again. Yeah, taser. And then the moment this man reaches for his taser, she backs off and like scurries off to feed it. So after that, that's when Victoria bursts into the Oval. Her and Simone kind of have a back and forth about, what? Oh, you don't have the authority to make me leave the Oval so you can talk to my husband privately. So look, my plan failed. We need to figure something out. So Eli's like, look, Max has my team together. He, Bobby, myself, we're going to go up to the residency to confront Hunter right now. Now, in one of my favorite scenes of the episode, which is, wow, because we haven't seen Hunter and Jason on screen together in a long time. So basically, Jason's brought to his dad, and he has to convince Jason that, look, your mom, my wife, the first lady, tried to take me out. Secretly slipping me meds to make it so I can't walk. And everything that was relayed to you, like, you told the press that I was dead. I didn't do any of that. That was your mom. And then it's like, well, all these bad things. I like how Hunter and Emma was like, Jason, you did do all those terrible things, but I can help you. That's the thing about Hunter. It's like, look, your son is effed up, yet you just try to wipe it under, just sweep it under the rug. Like, we can get you help. He's a freaking psychopathic murderer. This is just like in the haves and the have-nots, with Wyatt's drinking, the hit and runs, and all these other things he got into. Jim Cryer was always about protecting his children by cleaning up their mistakes, usually for the sake of his own public image, but at the same time, because he quote-unquote loves his children. But basically, he tries to manipulate Jason by saying, Sam, oh yeah, well, yeah, Dad, there was this reporter. Oh, don't worry about that. She actually works for me. The Sam? Yeah, he does too. He lied to me? Yeah, well, I told him to lie to you, son. So basically, Jason, he calms down the moment. It's like, look, your grandfather knows that you killed your grandmother, so he's going to come and try to take me out and you out, so we need to work together. So all you need to do now, go to your room, take a nice shower, and relax. Your dad's, he's got this, because it's a new team. He's going to take care of your mom. So from there, we got the whole crew on their way upstairs. It's like, at first you got Victoria, Eli, Max, Bobby. I think like Alan and Donald catch wind of what's going on, so they follow up. Richard decides he's going up there. Priscilla's like, I ain't going up there because I bet the only reason they called me in here is because they raided my house because the first son was in there, and now they want to try to take me out. I ain't going up there. Priscilla, come on. Okay, fine, let's go. But in the midst of this, Sam goes upstairs first, and he, is confronted by Isaac. Hunter wants him in his room, and he pretty much says, cut the sir bull crap. I know you've been banging my wife, and I know you hid my son. Why? Trying to protect him, sir. For what? From you. He's my son. Yeah, well, I was under orders from the current sitting president to hide your son away. And I think that if I remember correctly from my notes, because sorry, I kind of scrabble because things were kind of moving fast. Hunter wanted Isaac to take Sam to the bunker, but he's like, no, you can't take me anywhere because, again, you're not the sitting president. So then a fight ensued. Sam was holding his own pretty well because you think about how badly, well, not even how badly, but how effortlessly Bobby was beating the hell out of Sam. And Sam's a small dude. But Isaac, he was holding his own pretty well. And it's kind of funny because, but right before the fight broke out, Isaac was like, sir, we need to get you out of here. What? Yeah, there's a group on the move up to the residency. Let me get you in the wheelchair. I ain't gonna lie. Hunter was kind of smooth with the way he kind of slid from, his, what do you call it? I forgot what it's called. At the foot of your bed, it's like a little thing. I actually have one. Well, I had one in my apartment. I just forgot what it was called. It's like that thing where you can like put stuff in there. It's like a box or a chair, a bench you put at the foot of your bed. Basically, the way he slipped from that into the wheelchair and went out the door, but then he's confronted by, okay, let me see if I can remember these 10 characters. Victoria, Eli, Simone, Max, Bobby, Donald, Alan, Kyle, Priscilla, Richard. That's 10 characters plus an assortment of different, agents. And this is actually pretty intense. So Victoria says that, oh yeah, we're going to have you committed, Hunter. Eli's like, we invoked the 25th Amendment and you're going to be removed ASAP. Sam and Donald try to, quell the fury because, yeah, Hunter is sitting there by himself. It's like, it's kind of like, the whole thing about Tony Stark and Loki is like, I have an army. We have a Hulk. So basically he's like, look, you brought knives to a gunfight because what? You got a few agents here with some guns, but guess what? These are special forces. These aren't Secret Service agents. My favorite part of this exchange, like Bobby and Max are like, hey, you ready to have some fun? Ready to party? Yeah, let's go down. So, I love how in the midst of this, it's like, Sam, you have no authority here. Donald, ex-chief of staff, seems like you picked your side. And it's like, nah, man, I just saw the group coming up here. I came, And Jason, for whatever reason, because I think one of the funniest moments of the episode is when Sam first went up to the residency to see Hunter. Jason kind of comes out of his room and I was like, and where do you think you're going? Nowhere. Yeah, good, like I thought. So he slips back in. Jason, why the hell did you even bother coming out of your room? You should have just stayed in there. But yeah, so they try to like actually Victoria's team tries to like, hey, everybody's calm down. It's like, nah, fam, we ain't Secret Service. Pow, pow, pow. A shootout occurs. And it was really lackluster because of the fact that the only people who got shot that I saw were just the nameless grunts on each side. Kyle, we didn't see him get shot, or Bobby, or Simone, or Victoria. Hunter, his wheelchair got pulled away and he was looking sinister. Everybody ducking and stuff. I don't know. This was predictable and a bit disappointing. The acting in the final scene was good, but I just felt like Eli was a very inconsistent character. So, yeah, look, if you wanted to watch this episode, I would recommend watching the first scene with Richard and Nancy, the scene with Hunter and Jason, just because we haven't seen them interact in quite a while, and then the final 5 minutes in the residency. Well, actually, you know what? Yeah, the final scene in the residency between Victoria and her crew versus Hunter and his squad, and that's about it. Three scenes right there. 3 scenes right there. But yeah, that's why the episode gets 3 points, because the rest of it was just filler garbage. But season 5 was a bust. Hopefully the show's gone all the way until October. I am in no rush whatsoever for The Oval season 6. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Was I too harsh on the finale, or was I too nice? Do you think a 3 out of 10 is too high? Based off the people who responded to my tweets, because I did live tweet during the episode. I did watch the episode live. And those who hit me up in my DMs while the episode was airing, we all agree this episode sucks. So, yeah, this season, yikes.